see you. You know, when you weren't here for dinner, and it was getting kind of late, I was worried that I had missed you for the night. I mean, that's totally fine. You don't have to stop by here every night. But normally, even if you don't stop by for a drink at the tavern, I at least like to, wave and say hi as you head on up to your room. Thought maybe I had missed you, seeing as it's so late tonight. Yeah, I mean, there's hardly anyone here anymore. I'm just finishing up some last minute chores. And then I'll be heading up to bed too. Yeah. What kept you so late today, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, you were doing research at the library. The illustrious Whisperwind Library and Learning Center. That's what it's called, right? I see. Well, good. I'm glad that you use the library. I'm not sure how many other people do still. I think Clea stops by now and then. But for the most part, I think other people don't care too much. Except for the children. I have heard quite a lot of things about Victoria's storytelling. She's becoming quite famous with them. I try to stop by too, now and then. I mean, I guess I'm pretty busy at the tavern, honestly, but I don't want Victoria to feel alone, coming to a different city. At first, I have to admit, I wasn't too keen on her being here. I'm not normally like that, but I mean, she's from Eshon, and something about that city, it makes me suspicious. But she seems kind enough. It doesn't seem like she has any ulterior motives for being here. I think she really does just want people to learn. So, yeah, I invited her to stop by the tavern now and then. I hope that she takes me up on it. Yeah, it'd be nice to see her in here. It would probably do her some good to mingle with the adults of Whisperwind, both for her and for them, so they can see that she's not, strange or trying to drastically change their way of life or anything. She just wants to help, I hope she does. So, what were you researching in our illustrious learning center this fine evening? Dwarves? Really? I gotta admit, I don't know that much about dwarves. I don't think anybody does, really. I mean, pretty much all I know about them is that they are sturdy folk. Very hardy, very strong, good at making metal things, and they keep to themselves. That's pretty much it. Oh, well, I'm glad you were able to learn a few other things about them. That's good. Why were you researching dwarves, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, you're traveling to Knapwin. Oh, cool. That should be quite the adventure. Wait, how are you getting in? Isn't Knapwin pretty closed off to people who aren't dwarves? Yeah, dwarves are, they're pretty isolated. They moved all their cities underground and pretty much, like I said, keep to themselves. How exactly are you going to be getting in? Oh. That's a fascinating looking thing. A crest. A crest from one of the dwarven chieftains. Well, that's cool. Yeah. It looks very dwarven, doesn't it? Yeah. Beard and the face of Probably a very, very well-renowned, high-regarded dwarf. Looks very dwarfly. Yeah. Now, where did you get something like this? Okay, that doesn't surprise me. Zot. Good old Zot. She tends to have something for everybody, doesn't she? Well, there you go. There's your ticket into the fascinating city of Knapwin. You know what? You might be the first human to be there in, oh, I don't know, 100 years, or maybe even more. That's crazy. You know, my father, he ran trading and things like that in Eshan, and for a while he was determined to get the dwarves to open up trading with him. Yeah, he was sure that he could convince them, but didn't work out so well. Dwarves are very honor-bound, apparently, and apparently the chieftain that he was trying to do business with, he didn't like some of the tactics that my father used. Not that I can blame him. I didn't like those tactics either. Probably for the better. But, yeah, that will be quite the honor, traveling to Knapwin. You're going to come back with all kinds of stories again, aren't you? Yeah. Well, I guess it'll be quiet and boring around here again. You know what? I never used to think that Whisperwind was boring or quiet until you came around. Made things interesting. And now when you decide to travel to somewhere exciting, I'm just here. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still love Whisperwind. It's an amazing place to live. It's quiet and it's safe and it's so many things that other cities around this kingdom are not. But every once in a while, when you're gone, I sit here thinking, I wonder what they're up to. I wonder what sort of crazy adventure they've gotten themselves into. Come with you? Travel with you all the way to Knapwin? That would be amazing, but I don't think it's a good idea. No, of course I would love to travel with you. I would love to see more of the kingdom. You know, I've been south, obviously. I've been to Eshan, and I've been out east, well, a little bit, you know, here and there. But I've never been to the west. Yeah, I would love to travel there. But it's not really a good idea for me to travel too far away from Farron, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that very important potion that she gives me once a month. Pretty important. If we were traveling somewhere and we weren't back by the next full moon and I turned and I didn't have control of myself, anything could happen. I could hurt you. I could hurt other people. I'm not taking that risk. No, unfortunately, that is a very powerful potion that she makes me, and all powerful potions have, well, they have pros and cons. One of the cons of that potion is that it has to be fresh in order to work. So I can't just have her make me up a big batch of it and then go wherever I want. I need to get it from her the day before the full moon every month. Or I turn and the wolf takes over. I mean, I guess if we were somewhere that I knew that I could be away from people, I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world. You know, if we went somewhere like Linden Grove, that's still close to the forest. Actually, there was one time that I ended up in Linden Grove. It was right when Farron had just started giving me that potion before I turned on the full moon. And while the potion that she gives me is very, very powerful, it also takes my willpower in order to sort of suppress the wolf and stay in control of myself. And I was kind of still learning how to do that. And I lost control for a little while that night. And when I woke up the next morning, I had traveled so far that I was almost all the way to Linden Grove. I had no idea that I could travel that far. I guess when you're a werewolf, that's one of the perks. You can travel really fast when you need to, apparently. Yeah, I wandered out of the trees, this random girl, completely alone, and I expected them to all be highly suspicious. But they were actually really nice. Yeah, they took me in, they gave me a meal, they gave me some fresh clothes, and they actually offered to have me stay there so that they would take care of me. But I wanted to get home, so I didn't stay for very long. But imagine that we were in a dwarven city, underground, and I turn into a werewolf. Especially if we were the first humans to be allowed into a dwarven city for 100 years, and then all of a sudden there's a werewolf attack. There is no way that they wouldn't put two and two together. Also, whereas most humans scream and run away, I'm fairly certain that dwarves are strong and brave enough that they wouldn't run away from me, they would kill me. I would really prefer to not die at the hand of dwarves, if you know what I mean. Actually, I would really just prefer not to die in any way. So, I guess, can you guarantee that we'll be back before the next full moon? I mean, we just had the full moon a few nights ago, so it's a decent amount of time, but it is kind of a long journey. You can't promise that. I figured. Well, maybe next time. I'm sure that you'll come back with all kinds of stories, and I will look forward to hearing them. Well, you missed dinner, but can I get you a drink or something? Yeah, of course. What'll it be tonight? Why do I even ask anymore? Well, no, I mean, you're perfectly allowed to have other things, but I'm very glad that you enjoy elderflower ale. There you go. Fresh bottle too. Just opened it. Yeah, earlier tonight, so it's a pretty good batch if I do say so myself. I'm starting to sort of streamline the process so it doesn't take quite as long, and I'm getting better at, knowing exactly how much of every ingredient to add. The citrus, the honey, of course the elderflower. Because you don't want too much elderflower or it's so floral that it's too strong of a flavor. Gotta get the balance just right. But I'm learning. What? No, I don't think there was any supper left over. It flew out of the pot tonight, as Rosie would say. Well, we did run out of fresh bread too. Yeah, I mean, Rosie tries to make as much as we need for every day, but every once in a while, there's a lot of people who show up at the tavern wanting some fresh bread. Yeah, it's a shame. It's too bad that there's not, you know, a friend of yours who works here who would maybe know that you might want something like some fresh bread. Especially, you know, it would be great if that friend was very good at sneaking things out of the kitchen under the very watchful but understandably busy and sometimes distracted eye of Rosie. Shame. Don't tell her. I happened to find half a loaf of bread just sitting there in the kitchen shortly before it all ran out. And I grabbed it for you. There we are. Fresh bread. Well, I mean, it's not warm anymore, but freshly baked this morning is still rather fresh for bread. Here. You might want to take it and go eat it in your room, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, you can just sort of tuck it back in there for now. Don't tell Rosie. If she knew everything that she misplaced was usually not necessarily misplaced, but more, you know, taken. Oh, she would be so mad. Anyway, I got your back. At least you can have some nice bread and a nice drink, right? Hey, you know what? There's, you know, my father never traded with dwarves from Knapwin, but there were a few people from Elan who every once in a while got their hands on dwarven goods. And they were always so beautiful, so amazing. Yeah, especially things like, you know, their weapons, armor, jewelry, that kind of stuff. Dwarves are amazing at all that kind of stuff, and they always sold for quite a lot, but they were so beautiful and they lasted forever. So would you mind if I gave you a little bit of money and you bought me something while you were there? Just like something small, like a ring or something. Yeah, just something that you think is cool looking and very dwarven looking. Okay, yeah. No, we do this every time. I'm giving you money. Hush. Okay. There. Should probably cover it, I think. If it doesn't, you let me know, okay? And I'll give you the rest of it once you get back. Yeah. And I mean, it's fine if, you know, you don't have time to stop into a shop or anything, but, you know, if you happen to be swinging by and see somewhere selling dwarven jewelry, that'd be fun. Yeah. So, if I asked you why you were going to Knapwin, would you tell me? I kind of figured that would be your answer. I mean, you said that, you know, you can't guarantee that we would be back in time for the full moon. So obviously you're there for a reason. It's not just sightseeing. It's, you have a purpose. Obviously there's something that you have to accomplish before you can come home. Yeah. There's no way you would tell me that, what it was, right? No, it's fine. You keep your secrets. I like guessing. One of these days, I'm going to figure it out. Whatever it is that you're doing in this town, whatever you do when you go to these different cities and all of your research, all of your little adventures, I'm going to figure it out. No, it's not a threat. I like figuring things out. Oh well. No, it's if it's a big deal, then it's okay. Don't worry. Are you here for something that's dangerous? Are you in trouble? No. Okay. Sorry, you're so secretive. It feels like it's something big, something important, and not necessarily in a good way. Okay. Well, you know that if there's anything, you know, if you are in trouble or if you need anything, that I'm here for you, okay? I mean, everybody here in Whisperwind would be there for you. It's one of the benefits of living in a place like this. We treat each other like family. Okay. Well, just, you know, the offer stands. If you need someone to talk to, or if you need someone to help with something, anything, really, I'm here. Okay? Okay. Oh, you know what? Speaking of secrets, Clea came in earlier and she said that there was something that she needed to give you. That you had stopped by earlier and she'd said no, but she thought about it and she was, I don't know, something. She was also being very cryptic and not actually telling me anything. Seems to be a theme around here these days. But yeah, you should stop by and see Clea. In fact, did she? I don't think I saw her leave. Oh, there she is, over by the fire. Yeah, you should stop by and see what she's got for you. It sounded pretty important, pretty serious, if you ask me. Whatever that's about. You're not going to tell me that either, are you? Of course not. Well, whatever it is, I hope that Clea is helpful. I hope that your journey to Knapwin is eventful, I guess. That you accomplish what it is that you need to accomplish. Yeah. When are you leaving? Tomorrow morning. Bright and early again, I'm sure. Okay. Well, I'll have Rosie wrap up some bread for you again in the morning, okay? Yeah. Well, I guess it would depend on what time you're leaving. If it's too early, then it won't be done in time. Can wait for some fresh bread. You know what? That is a good idea. What a good way to start an adventure. Some nice, freshly baked, right out of the oven bread. Oh, do you want me to wrap up some elderflower ale for you too? You can take with you? I mean, I'm sure that there'll be plenty of taverns and things once you get to Knapwin, but, you know, it might help to keep you warm at night while you journey there. Okay, yeah, I'll get one of my bottles and wrap that up for you, okay? Okay. Well, safe travels, strange traveler. I hope that your journey goes well. Don't stay away too long, okay? Okay. Well, I guess I'll see you when you get back, huh? Okay. Well, go enjoy your chat with Clea. Like I said, I hope that she's helpful. I guess if I don't see you in the morning, I'll see you when you get back. Okay. Till then. Oh, hello. You know, I was hoping that you would come by and see me after you were done chatting with Raya. I wanted to talk to you about earlier today. You came into my shop and made a request of me that I denied. And I was quite caught off guard by your request, and honestly a bit irked, I guess, that you didn't explain yourself better, or that you weren't willing to expand on it at all. Yeah, it was a little frustrating, I'll admit. But I kept thinking about it after you left, and Penem means a lot to me. I know that she's just some elf that lived 300 years ago, and maybe to other people that's not really a big deal, but Penem's story is something that I've been piecing together since I was a child, really. Since I found the first mention of her in a journal that we found in the attic years and years and years ago. And since then, it's been my life's work, really, to put her story together and to learn more about Whisperwind and how it came to be, and this amazing rich history that it has. And it's something that means a lot to me. Penem's story, Penem's things, Penem's everything. And so you coming into the shop and asking for Penem's ring, the ring that we found in the chest that I've also been haunted by, really, since I was a child. You just coming in and asking for it out of the blue. It was quite surprising. And at first I was a bit hurt, almost, because you know how important all of this is to me. And so I thought, well, why would they ask this of me if they knew how hard it would be for me to give this up? But then the more I thought about it, I realized that because you knew that, it stands to reason that you wouldn't ask for it unless you really needed it. Unless it was important. It is important, isn't it? Whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever it is that you have dedicated your time to. Why that you've, been in Whisperwind this whole time. It's not just because you're some random traveler learning about the world. No, you don't have to say anything. That wasn't a question. I know that you're not just some random traveler. And I know that you like to keep things to yourself, and you don't disclose a lot of personal things or details to people. And I understand wanting to have a certain sense of secrecy, especially about something that could be so dangerous, or potentially dangerous. Okay, here I go, just making assumptions about things that I shouldn't. Although, when someone comes into a little town like this and acts a bit strangely and stays here for so long, it does lead people to wonder, No, I know. But anyway, I realized that you wouldn't ask for Penem's ring unless you really needed it. Can you promise that you'll take good care of it? Okay. Will I get it back someday? Probably. Okay, well, that's actually a better answer than I was expecting to get, so. All right. Okay, here, I dug it out for you. Here it is. Penem's ring. It's actually, it doesn't have any sort of gemstones on it or any sort of symbols besides just a very simple little design on it. But I mean, knowing Penem, it was probably a ring of power or a ring of magic or something. I don't know. I haven't had it long enough to be able to put together the pieces of this. But I hope it's worth it. Okay, well, here you go. There's the ring that you asked for. I hope that someday you feel comfortable enough to open up about all of this. Eventually. I mean, I don't want to force your hand or anything. And I do very firmly believe that you don't mean Whisperwind any harm. I wouldn't give it to you if I thought that you were plotting against Whisperwind or any of the people here. I believe that your intentions are pure. I do. So I'm giving you that vote of confidence. And I will let you have the ring. But please just be careful with it, okay? Yeah, no, I'm if it's so important, I'm sure that you'll be careful with it. There's no reason why you wouldn't be. But just, you know, okay, I'm terrible at this. I hope that whatever it is that you are working so diligently towards, I hope that it works out. Okay. Well, I've heard little whispers around town that you may be leaving us again for a little while. Well, wherever it is you're off to next, I hope that your journey is safe and productive, I guess. Whatever it is that you might be doing. Yeah. Well, I hope it's not too long before we see you in Whisperwind again. Okay. Well, safe travels. Bye for now.